Hey guys, so here's a new video, and so yeah, let's get started. So it's finally the Undead Faith thing, the combination card for Hanzo and Mifune showcase. I know I've been putting this off for quite some time, but that's just mostly because, quite honestly, I was busy with other things. So now that we finally have a chance to, I'm gonna go ahead and cover this. Um, Now, first of all, this is actually one of the few combination cards that you can get for free, where you don't have to recharge for it. Now, I personally didn't recharge for this, but if you do want to, you can. Um, Keep in mind that this card does have tier 5 items, so it is quite a ways bit more powerful than what I have it at right now. That being said, while it would become more powerful, it doesn't really change it up that much. I mean, it would have at least maybe at the most maybe another million worth of CP, and I'm really leaning on the side of excessiveness when it comes to how much CP I'm saying the tier 5 items could give it. Um, but yeah, so let's just get started. So this is also going to be a showcase for both Hanzo and Mifune. All their items, all their skills and such. So, first off, let's start with what we came here to see, which is the undead, the faithing something. Hang on, let's see. The consciousness and faith combination card. Now, this is a combination card made up of both Mifune and Hanzo. Now, you have a choice if you have all of their passives. You have a choice between four. You have a choice between the Iowa beheading 3 style 1 flash, the Iowa beheading faith skill, poison body, flash moving. Now flash moving is not particularly useful. I wouldn't recommend using it. All it really does is provide you an extra little bit of dodge at best. And nothing else, and it cuts your dodge by that same amount if he gets hurt for 2 rounds, so it's not particularly good. This is actually Hanzo's level 90 skill. Then you have poisonous body, slightly more useful to be quite honest. It deals extra ninjutsu damage to the enemy who attacks self, causing causing poisoning for 6 rounds, losing health 10% for each round. Equipped increases ninjutsu attack, yada 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 yada. So basically, this skill is really useful because whoever attacks Mifune actually does damage. I mean, whoever attacks this particular combination card with this skill, um, does more damage to themselves. Now it's nothing to just ignore because just go ahead and look at this. So that's the skill, but as you can see here, oh sorry, this one keeps on dodging, which is rather annoying because I was hoping to have something that didn't dodge. But so we're gonna show this here. That's the skill. It only does damage to the front row, keep in mind. Um, but as you can see here, they take quite a bit of damage. Now, it's rather unfortunate that these guys actually keep on using, whatchamacallit. Let's see, hopefully these guys, okay. There you go. The rebound damage was about 2 million worth of damage. Now, it doesn't look like a lot, but that's because of these guys right here. With how much HP that they have. Now, the skill itself, the unique skill for the combination card, it only does damage to the front person in front of them or in the front row. And what it also does is that it provides bleed for the enemy, on the enemy. So the enemy loses about 10% of worth of their HP, which is actually quite good if you think about it. Now, as far as I can tell, this doesn't actually work, because if you see, this card right here is not losing 10% worth of its HP. At best it's losing maybe 5%, which is kind of unfortunate because 10% would have been really powerful, especially for other things. Maybe it wouldn't have worked on the tailed beast, but just in general with cards like these that are fairly weak but have an obscene amount of HP, it would have been a nice damage boost to have. But it looks like it doesn't work that way. Um, Either way, it's still quite a bit of damage. 10 rounds, and as you can see, this card's still alive. If it really was 10% damage, then this card would be dead already. Which is not to say that this card isn't dealing a lot of damage. I mean, as you can see, that was an 8 million poison damage. But either way, it could have been better, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, let's just skip this, basically. There we go. Didn't win, obviously. So that's that passive, the poisonous body. Now what the Iowa beheading faith skill does, that one, it increases the taijutsu attack, essentially like shadow clones, by 35% um every icon that you get on your card. Now the Kenjutsu Flash Poison does taijutsu damage, so this could actually increase the amount of damage that you do, but it's doubtful that it's a very large amount. So let's see right here. It is a 700 million, 700,000, I guess, uh, damage that this card made, just with this normal skill. Let's see how much damage is done by the skill next time he releases his unique skill. So let's see. And let's see how much damage. 2 million critical, so about 1 million worth of damage. It didn't increase a whole lot, but it did increase slightly. Once again, this combination card's okay. It's not amazing, but it's not bad, I suppose. It has a decent amount of CP. Keep in mind that the only items that I have on my cards are the tier 4 items for those respective cards. So Mifune has his 4 tier 5 items, tier 4, 5 tier 4 items, and then Hanzo has his 3 tier 4 items. So I mean, it doesn't seem to be that great, at the very least, in my opinion. With Iowa beheading, then you have Iowa beheading 3 style flash, which I think this one's actually better because it does constant damage. So that's a 700k worth of damage. And because of the passive, he's gonna constantly release just a lot of 1.4 mil worth of damage, 1.4 million worth of damage, and just constantly throughout the entire battle, which once again isn't particularly good for this battle itself, because I mean, you need a lot more damage than that. But say a battle before this, like at chapter 22, it should still be fairly good, as you can see. It doesn't do the greatest amount of damage, but decently nonetheless. And there you go. So I mean, it, like I said, once again, it didn't do the greatest amount of damage, but it's decent nonetheless. Let's see how it does up against these guys. Keep in mind that my guy is really overpowered, especially considering, yeah, who is going up against. But yeah, 4 million worth of CP with all of that. Not the greatest, not the worst either. Personally, I think that the Mifune card by itself, Diamond Mifune, if I can find him, is actually more powerful in usability at the moment with just tier 4 items. If you have tier 5 items, well, you're obviously free to pay to play. But if you don't have tier 5 items, then the Mifune tier 4 card with the tier 4 items is better because of the abilities that he gets from those items. Just go ahead and look at this right here. So the ceiling, the faith, because of the 2 skills being released at the same time. Now, don't forget, most of that poison damage isn't actually coming from Mifune. I mean, from the faith, from the combination card. It's actually coming from Hanzo. So that's just something to consider right now while looking at this. So here you go. So you can look at this here quickly. Once again, which is, it isn't to say that these cards are bad. By no means are they bad. They definitely are not. They are rather powerful, especially considering that you can get this entirely for free. It's just that when comparing it to other cards like that I have in my repertoire, it's not that great. Is essentially what I'm trying to say. Um, but either way, for free to play, this is, I'm sure, rather amazing, I guess, because of the amounts of damage that is being done here. Yeah, keep it, like I said, these are all just with their tier 5, tier 4 items. Now, if the combination card, if you were to have the tier 5 items, the combination card would be vastly more powerful simply because it could do the essentially 2 attacks per skill or per turn. One because of the Aoa beheading, that's the passive, and then another one because of the tier 5 ring from Hanzo, if you were to have it. So, with the tier 5 items, it would definitely be a lot more powerful, but as just a free to play card right now, it's fairly decent. It's not the greatest, um, but it's not the worst either. And I mean, just these guys like this, all 5 of them, I mean, all 3 of them together, the combination card and the 2 cards that make the combination card up, are actually winning this if you can just look at this right now. Especially considering that they have Mifune's skill. And there you go. That's basically done. Once again, not the greatest, but then again, not the worst either. So yeah, that's really about it when it comes to the showcase for the combination card. It's not the best, not the worst. Definitely worth the 45 Mystic training packages, I guess it's called. Yeah, Mystic Train Exchange Certificates is definitely worth that simply because of the amount of damage that you can do, especially if you take the time to train them up for free and then get all the gold and train them up for free. You'll have 2 decently powerful cards. Now, once again, these are not obscenely powerful. They're nothing too special, but they're nothing to scoff at either. They're definitely very good, especially for, like how I said, free to play. Um, and once again, like I said, you only need 45 Mystic exchange packages, certificates, Mystic Train exchange certificates, and 40, not 45, excuse me. You only need 40 of those and you'll get this. And it's fairly decent, especially if you're free to play. Really, if you're diligent, you log in every day, you collect your rewards every day, you're going to get this particular combination card within 40 days. And once again, for it being free, it's decent. It's rather good. It's not bad, but yeah, it's not bad. It's rather good for free to play. Now this is Mifune, his tier 5 items. These just give him a lot of bonuses. For example, the head bandage gives him an extra 8k taijutsu with 6k hits, and then an extra 50k HP and 40k ninjutsu when you equip it to him. At level 115, tier 4, it gives any card that you equip it to 89k ninjutsu defense and 50k taijutsu attack. At level 115, the samurai armor tier 4, it gives 100. I'm sorry. At level 115, it gives 59k stamina, 52k taijutsu attack, and 48k ninjutsu defense to any card who you equip it to. Now, if you equip it to Mifune, he gets an extra 39k HP, 25k taijutsu attack, 19k ninjutsu defense, and he releases a skill called Bojutsu, which does not trigger backhand, and it also silences the front enemies. So it's very, very useful. Samurai gloves at tier 4, level 120, it gives you 72k ninjutsu defense, 67k stamina. If you equip it to Mifune, he gets an extra 12k taijutsu attack and 62k ninjutsu defense. Samurai boots tier 4, level 115. It gives you a 104k ninjutsu defense and 36k hits. Now, if you equip it to Mifune, he gets an extra 48k HP and 48k ninjutsu defense. And then finally his sword, which is the Kurosawa, tier 4 at level 115. It gives you 112k taijutsu attack and 36k hit. If you equip it to Mifune, he gets an extra 70k taijutsu attack, 50k ninjutsu defense, and he releases a skill called Wind Flash after the unique skill, which increases his own taijutsu attack and chakra recovery uh, for 2 rounds. And then once again, you can go get these up to tier 5, I believe. So you can get the samurai armor to tier 5, which gives the skill, the silencing skill for the combination card. Samurai boots, just a bigger boost in stats for the combination card and slightly better stats for the item itself. The headband, once again, slightly better stats for the combination card and then the bonuses. And then finally the Kurosawa, once again, better stats, more hits, and such for the combination card. Now for Hanzo, you only have 3 items, which is the Hanzo's gas mask. At level 100, tier 4, it gives you 56k taijutsu attack and 55k ninjutsu defense. If you equip it to Hanzo, he gets an extra 16k ninjutsu attack, 13k taijutsu attack, 37k HP, and he releases a skill called Poison Mist Bomb, which adds an extra round of poison after a unique skill. It doesn't actually do damage, but it does provide a extra poison debuff on your enemy, which deals damage for 1 to 3 rounds. It needs it to take effect. Then you have the Kusarigama, tier 4, at level 120. It gives you an extra, at level 120, it gives 60k ninjutsu attack and 72k hit to any ninja who you equip it to. Now, if you equip it to Hanzo, he gets an extra 22k ninjutsu attack, 11k hit, 21k HP, and then he also gets a skill called Wind Flash. Now, basically what it does, it releases a skill every single turn that Mifune, that Hanzo doesn't attack. So, a normal attack at the very least. So he releases this skill, and what it does damage to the person in front of him. And if that person in front of him has less than 20% HP, they will die instantly from the effect that the ring, the debuff effect that the ring imposes on them. Then there's the Crypto Brancheo de tier 4. At level 102, it gives you 110k ninjutsu attack. And then if you equip it to Hanzo, he gets an extra 18k ninjutsu attack, 41k HP. And then when he releases a skill, he has a higher probability to poison his enemies. Now, Hanzo has actually 2 skills. The first one is called the original one that comes out with him is called the Poisonous Fog. Causes ninjutsu damage to enemies and has a chance to poison the target for 6 rounds at probability. Now, the poison cuts the target's HP by 10% every round during the poisoning period. Doesn't do that much damage, to be quite honest. And then finally, the Triple Bladed Scythe 2-step deals ninjutsu damage to all enemies and releases poison to all enemies. Lasts for 6 rounds, needs a hit. Just does a decent amount of damage, not a lot, but it does do some very good poison debuffs. And yeah, that's really about it when it comes to this. Its uses could be, especially if you have the tier 5 samurai armor from Mifune, you can just go ahead and use it in the front of your row, and it's not going to trigger a backhand, and it will seal the front row, which is always great because it doesn't need to hit. I'd use this if I could, but as it stands right now, it's not strong enough to stand into my team and actually have me win battles because of the amount of CP that it provides. So yeah, that's really about it for this video. I really can't wait for the 16th. By then, on that day, I'll more than likely have the Diamond Obito Reborn. I'll be able to do the video on that, how I train it up and such, just going through everything. and it's hopefully going to be a great video for you guys. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it personally. Um, but yeah, this is how it stands right now. Right now I'm at number 5 for damage. I did only buy one ticket, so this is only one try. I did manage to stay at number 1 for quite some time, but then Ashura got to 99 billion. Don't exactly know how he got there, whether he did more than one try. But I only did one try, and this is what I got. And unfortunately, the tactic that I used didn't go through the entire battle. It went through right up until the last chance to release the unique skills. And I feel like if I would have been able to release that last unique skill, for my entire team, I would have at least done another, I don't know, 2, possibly 3 billion. But who knows at this point. So yeah, that's really about it for this video. Here's the proof that the strategy works. Once again, I only did buy one ticket because it was the cheapest one that you can buy. I'm not gonna be getting any more tickets after this, but really can't wait for the 16th to come up once again because that means I get my rewards from this event. And as it stands, it does look like I will be number 1 for my server. Maybe somebody will come up and dethrone me, but at the moment, the number 2 in my server is actually only has 2 billion worth of damage. So whoever is gonna come up next has to have at least another 10 billion to get me out of that first place spot in my server. And it doesn't matter, even if I get number 10, which is very doubtful, I'm still gonna have enough rare ore to create that diamond obito, which means that diamond reborn obito is coming up fairly soon right after that. As you can see, I have 450 Uchiha's Nightmare. So close and yet so far. Just need another 9k worth of rare ore. So hopefully we're gonna see that rare ore fairly soon. The event ends on the 16th, technically on the 15th at 12, but 16th at 000. So that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, that's really about it for this video. I did answer some comments on the last video. I had some time to do so, so hopefully that helps you guys out. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you don't. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye.